Hello, this is Michael Behrens. It's October 15th, 2020, and I've been given the really fun opportunity to visit Travis Audubon's Chaetura Canyon Preserve in southwest Austin. And I've just arrived and started on the trail, one of the trails down into the canyon. And one of the real treats with this place is it was already pretty quiet to begin with, not much traffic noise, but as I descended into the canyon, it just quieted down even more. There's something really special about being able to go down into a little canyon like this and have all this earth all around you, blocking out most of the man-made sounds. Right now it's pretty quiet. I hear a Carolina wren. I've heard a northern mockingbird and ruby-crowned kinglet, and seen a couple cardinals. And we'll see what else I can find this morning. Down in the canyon, one of the first things that caught my eye are all these orange-yellow flowers in bloom, goldeneye. And then down in the actual lowest part of the canyon where water flows, you can see around the edges there are various ferns. It's dry now, but the presence of ferns usually means that an area gets water regularly. And that's the path I'm going to follow. Continuing down the trail, more goldeneye. And just look at this amazing trail. Paul and Georgianne Kyle, the stewards here, and creators of this preserve, just take such amazing care of this place. Beautiful trails. Looks like I don't know if you can see here, some American beautyberry with those big broad leaves and purple flowers. I mean purple berries. American beautyberry, it's an important native plant. Lots of wildlife eats those purple berries. And we continue the descent into the canyon. It's becoming apparent that goldeneye is the predominant blooming flower right now on the preserve. I'm walking down the lower canyon trail. You can see how steep this is. I think it goes to the very deepest part of the canyon. Another blooming plant, one of my favorites, frostweed, which has bunches of white flowers, super broad leaves, likes the shade, real important native plant for our pollinators. On the left, look at these beautiful limestone walls. the bottom of the canyon here. Looks like it's still pretty dry, a little more frostweed here. And very quiet. Broad-leafed plant down there. Might be another beautyberry with the pale leaves and more frostweed. And more goldeneye. Starting to climb back up. Interesting burrow here. I bet Paul and Georgianne Kyle could tell me right away what animals may or may not be using this. Wow, look at this. Trail gets a little bit steep. Once again, surrounded by goldeneye. Finally, a lone pollinator. Western honeybee. And I'm so happy that I'm hearing red-breasted nuthatch. Hopefully he'll make a sound again. He or she somewhere up here. A little meep, 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 meep. Toy horn sound. Still following the lower canyon trail, climbing back up. And hearing the call of a canyon wren. Not the song, but the little... There's the song. Canyon wrens are year-round residents here in this canyon, appropriate to their name. So the trail here has this little tree, looks like a scraggly looking live oak that the trail goes over. And then right on the other side, we're basically traversing the canyon. It's a long switchback. And this is a neat native plant found in these hill country areas. Lindheimer's silk tassel. It's kind of an inconspicuous shrub. Has that sort of distinctive leaf shape and just a little bit fuzzy on the bottom. And then continue my traverse of the canyon. So the trail that I was on that traverses the canyon curves uphill into a switchback. And right at the beginning of the switchback at a higher level, look at these beautiful benches Paul and Georgianne had built right when you might need a little breather after that climb. So in addition to all of the trail building and bench building and maintenance. The Kyles are really ecological stewards of this place and have cleared out lots of invasive species and planted natives. And here's one of my favorites, Texas madrone tree. It's always special, feels kind of special when I run into one of these. Look at the color and the bark. They just stand out. They look different than other trees you come across. First time I learned about them was years ago. I used to do golden cheek warbler surveys, volunteer surveys on the Nature Conservancy's Barton Creek Habitat Preserve, and every once in a while we'd stumble across a madrone. And I paused there because a vulture just flew in. Don't think, he's looking at me. Don't think we can pick him up with my iPhone camera. His head is just peeking up over the top of this dark cedar tree in the background. I wonder if can't tell if it's a turkey vulture or black vulture. And I'm hearing a few faint call notes of some birds back in here. Maybe there's a little flock nearby now. Faint little seep seep notes that could be chickadees or titmice or several other songbirds. I see a little movement there. We'll see what we can get. That little group of birds. Hey! I was just about to tell you what the birds in the little flock were, and now they're telling you. 2 or 3 black-crested titmice. First made their presence known with a very subtle little seep, 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 seep call notes, contact call notes. And now, just as I was recording myself, one broke out into the much louder and more distinctive call they often make. Very cool. Continuing the traverse on the upper switchback, we're entering an area that's real typical, what's called cedar breaks. Look at all the ash juniper, aka cedar trees, and how dense it is in here. And if it weren't for the Kyles, this would probably be impassable, because cedar trees leave lots of low branches. Oh yeah, and look, you can see all the low branches that have been trimmed, or else this area, an area like this, you'd have to duck walk your way through, and then still you'd get a torn up shirt and scratches all over. It's one of the many chimney swift towers the Kyles have pioneered and designed, went through several different phases of design and built here on the property and other places. And it's a really nice big cedar tree. And I think I hear power drill. Sounds like Paul's working on something up the hill a little ways near the house, which is not surprising at all. And hey, look at this, another huge patch of, what was it, Texas Star? Now I can't remember the name again. Goldeneye. Another huge patch of goldeneye. And you can see the Kyles garden up here. Looks like a facility for holding dangerous animals, but it's all to keep deer and rock squirrels out of the garden. And there's Paul. Hey, Paul.
Michael, how's it going?
Pretty good. Smile.
Anything?
Pretty quiet, but I heard the nuthatch.
You did?
Yeah.
Where'd you see him?
Didn't see it, but just heard it. Probably right around here. I was on the lower trail on my way back up.
That's great. Well, that's
Yeah.
worth the trip.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm enjoying all these goldeneye.
Yeah, it's a good year for him for sure.
Yeah. Waiting to see if some pollinators show up.
There you go. It's been a sparse year for pollinators too.
I've emerged back out of the canyon, back the way I came, by the Windows on Nature viewing blind, and look at that neat fence Kyles have constructed out of juniper and maybe mesquite logs. And back out of the canyon, I'm hearing more human-made sounds that the canyon shielded me from for a while. Maybe now you can hear the water running. The nice water feature here. Ooh, with that light blue flower by the water. I wonder if that's a mist flower. There's a nice breeze up here that the canyon shielded me from. And I think I'll just sit down and have a rest in this beautiful blind for a little bit. It's about 10:15 in the morning. I'm still hanging around in the Windows on Nature blind. The birding was pretty slow. I got about 11 species, but it was really fun hearing the red-breasted nuthatch, just that little bit. And I think one of the reasons to come to Chaetura Canyon is to experience the soundscape here. It's really something special to go down into the canyon and start to hear the background traffic sounds that we're all so used to everywhere in the city just fade away. I think it's important to experience that every now and then. It makes this a special place. One of the many things that makes this Chaetura Canyon a special place. I periodically taught an intro to birding by ear class here before the COVID-19 pandemic, and I really miss it. I hope we can get back to that one of these days soon, because Chaetura Canyon is a great place to not only start to learn birding by ear, but just start to train your ears to realize what background sounds you're hearing, what background sounds you're not hearing. And anyway, I'm glad this morning I could share my walk with you and hopefully point out some fun, interesting things. Thanks for watching.